So I'm Ash Daniels. There's my lovely, very handsome husband with the beard sitting over there. Yeah. And we are from South Africa, which supposedly the South Africans now outnumber the Aussies. So Aussies and Kiwis, even if you add them together.
Not on the medal table.
Okay, Channing, you did it. Okay, so just to say, sorry, I've written it down so that I could remember things. Thank you. Oh no, you can stay, Phil. It's all good. So I've always struggled with anxiety since I was a child. I struggled with an anxiety disorder. And many times I think throughout my life I felt really disappointed that I wasn't healed as I expected in some miraculous poof moment. Although I do believe in miracles and I've seen them happen. And I think what I'm wanting to share today isn't a big, sudden, miraculous transformation for myself, but it's been a journey of transformation and a process. I'm sorry, I'm going to probably cry. And I think that's what it means to be a living testimony and to live by God's grace, which I think in itself is quite miraculous. I think starting with my job, it might be useful to know I work in mental health. And my previous job that I had last year took a really big hit on my well-being. And I really prayed, but didn't hear anything audible. There was no change at work. I was being really badly bullied. It was not good. And I think a lot of people here struggle with work or employment too. I took a leap and I gave my notice. I quit, didn't have a job. And applied for a couple. Ended up getting an interview with this amazing team that I'm very underqualified for. Basically, just a huge jump that I was like, I'll never get the job. I don't have the experience that I need to get this job. But I got it. Crazy. So I now, little old South African Ash, is working in the only specialist children's team for rare diseases in Europe. Which is insane. And as I said, I am underqualified, but I'm learning a lot. And I'm a team that has a real love for me and a lot of grace and a lot of peace and really supportive. And it's been a huge help to my mental health and a huge answer to prayer. And I think coming back to that thing of mental health, in a really hard point of my anxiety, I Googled, and I found some biblical affirmations. Affirmations, I guess, a big thing, modern thing, and in the psych world too. And I started to read these biblical affirmations over myself every day. And I think I always struggle to understand how the Bible really speaks to me today, particularly the Old Testament. I was like, well, it doesn't say when you're having poor self-esteem or bad body image, do X, Y, Z. So I was like, well, God, what do I do? you don't tell me, you know? And yet so when I started reading them over myself every day, I was like, I don't really know if it's going to help, but we're just going to go with it. And these scriptures have been a real balm to my soul. And they've helped me bring solace, calm, peace, and joy. And it's become way too clear that when I engage with my Heavenly Father every day and I read these scriptures over myself, it has a huge positive impact, although I can be really slow to learn this. I guess it's the renewing of your mind, Romans 12, verse 2. It's also a principle related in evidence-based psychotherapy, CBT. That spending time with my very, very kind Heavenly Father, reminding myself of His view of me, has led to huge emotional and thought change. When my mind is full of self-criticism, fear, and guilt, I lean on these scriptures that I've written down and I look at every day. So I paraphrase these. But here are some. When my heart condemns me, I rest in God's presence, knowing that He does not condemn me. 1 John 3, verse 19 to 20, and Romans 8, verse 1. His love is not based on fear. 1 John 4, verse 18. So letting God into the spaces I struggle and reminding myself of my identity in Him has been so helpful. Not avoiding, shying away from the painful things, but bringing them to Him and allowing His transformation to take place. Knowing that God doesn't shame me or critique me, even when I have absolutely nothing to give and I am not good enough. He just loves and loves and loves, even when I expect otherwise. So I do still struggle with anxiety, but I know His strength is made perfect in my weakness, and that I can just keep bringing it to Him and chatting with Him. Isaiah 9, verse 6 says, He is my wonderful counselor. And what do you do with a counselor? Is you talk, right? It's an ever ongoing journey. and for which I'm wrapped in his miraculous grace. And it's a relationship on the daily, which I often forget about and I often get wrong, and yet he still does not accuse me, he just loves.
Beautiful.